And then to protect it is exactly what it means, to protect. My sergeant saved the lady's life the other day. And he drove up and the guy he stabbed her twice. His wife stabbed her twice in the stomach when my sergeant was pulling up. And sergeant didn't have enough time to really take good aim, but he, pow.
Prison Stories 101. We're back with another special episode. This one right here actually is hitting home because, of course, we have this conversation on Prison Stories where we deal with one side of the law, and now we have Officer Larry Bankston for the other side of the law. 23 years in the force of Dallas Police, correct?
Dallas Police, 23 years.
All right, if you don't mind, go ahead and reintroduce yourself. Let them know where you're from and how much. Go ahead, we already said the time, but go ahead and let them know how much time you've done on the force.
I've been on Dallas Police Department 23 years. I'm not from Dallas, though. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. I mean, that's where I was raised.
Yeah. All right. And Officer Larry Bankston, welcome back. I mean, well, not welcome back, but welcome to the platform. You've been on other podcasts. You've been viral.
With you?
Yeah. We've done other things, and we've been viral before. So thank you for coming on this platform where we're having this conversation. Yeah. What I wanted to do was, of course, I've had a lawyer here. I plan on having judges and wardens come in, but I want to have a conversation as far as, the other side of prison, as far as, the guys who put people in prison.
Right.
Before I even get started, do you ever look at that? Like, I know you make arrests, you do your job. This is what you're paid to do, serve and protect. Yeah. But do you look at the aftermath of what happens to someone afterwards? Do you even follow with anybody that you arrested to see, what became of them?
Not really, because most of the time people plea out. When most of the arrests I made, they just plea out. But every now and then, I'll run into somebody that I arrested, and most of the time, actually, it's a good interaction. Like one time, a guy told me, I can't remember if I arrested this guy or not, but he was actually at the courthouse. And he walked up to me and said, "Officer Bankston." And he had a security jacket on with a wand. And he did like this. And I said, what are you talking about? He said, "You remember you told me that it'd be better for you just to get a job instead of looking out for the jackals on the street and looking out for y'all? Like, I'll be looking over my shoulder for both." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I do remember you." He said, "Well, I did what you said, man. I got a job here." And I'm saying, "Oh, shit, man, I'm proud of you."
There you go.
I'm real proud of you. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Well, let's start with your upbringing real quick, man. Yeah. Because very few people, especially of our color, say that they want to be a police officer. They want to be on the other side of the law.
Totally understand.
Normally, our, just from history, our paths always lead to doing some kind of criminal activity.
Right.
So what was it for you as far as that?
Well, I was an athlete my whole life. At the age of 7, I think I came out with a football in my hand. My dad was a football coach. He was an athlete. My sister was an athlete. We just all was athletes. But in Kansas City was kind of rough. I went to a school, Southeast. It was very prideful, but it was rough. It was real. It was like lean on me. But the one thing I got a lot of respect for was being a good athlete. So most of the guys kind of kept me out of the, out of the gutter, doing the gutter stuff or whatever. But I had a lot of friends, a few family members doing their thing. And I never wanted to be a cop. I didn't like police. Remember I told you?
Yeah, you said it.
Yeah, but it was a calling. And that's what, and I didn't understand. I ran from the calling for a long time. I ran from it. And I remember, I had all the makings to be like a household name as far as a football player. Like I ran a 4.38 40, bench 415, weighed 195, 3% body fat. Did 225 so many times they told me to stop. But come on, because I played free safety at the time,
Oh yeah,
so it was like you don't need to be that strong at safety, know. But anyway, I'm not trying to brag because I didn't go nowhere with it. It just never worked out. But officers always came to me and said, man, you should think about being a police officer. And I was like, nah, I don't want to be no police. That's not something I want to do. Where I come from, we don't like police.
Yeah.
Like, man, it's not like you think, And so to make a long story short, that kept happening.
Yeah. What were you doing? Were you working at a job? What was the job you had before you became a police officer?
Well, I worked in retail. I sold cars, and I worked for GM, and I worked for Boeing. Those were the bigger jobs of making, more money.
Yeah.
So working at GM, we kept getting laid off. We got laid off all the time. I was like, man, this is crazy, And then I ended up moving here from Kansas City from working at GM, and I worked for Boeing in Corinth, Texas.
Yeah.
And after 9/11, about 50,000 people from Boeing got laid off. And then Boeing went into aerospace. And I thought I was going to work for Lockheed Martin, but it didn't work out. And but guys kept coming to me saying, man, you should consider being a police officer. And I had prayed about it too. And I'm not a real churchy guy, but I prayed about it, and it came to me again, and I just felt this, I think they call it like an unction to go ahead and try it. So I was like, you know what? I got kids. I had got married. I was like, I'm gonna have to do something. So I went ahead and applied for Dallas PD, and I applied for DART, and I applied for the airport, DFW airport, because the airport did both at the time. They did police and fire, and all three of them called me. And I was like, man, that's weird.
We need you.
Yeah, so all three called, and I asked for advice from people that were in law enforcement. Everybody was like, go with Dallas. You'll get more experience, and you're needed more at Dallas, So once I started the academy and I started getting into it, learning about policing and everything, the light bulb went off why it was important for me to become a police officer. Because in order for the culture to change of policing, you got to change the players. And I was like, okay, I understand why I'm supposed to do this. And I was a natural at it. Most people thought I was in the military or something because I actually just instinctively moved so tactically. You know what I mean? But the bigger thing was once I got out of the academy and I was doing field training, I noticed that I was able to relate to people in the hood, like, because that's where I come from.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, God, I see what you're doing.
Well, let me ask you, what was your thoughts on police?
The reality of it is, and a lot of police officers, it's like they try to run from the truth. But the truth is, policing started from a white supremacist place. It was something that was designed to keep us oppressed. But at the same time, there's not much in this country that wasn't designed with us not in mind. And when I say us, I mean Black folks.
Yeah.
So even the banking system, the medical system, the military, everything has a racist origins in this country.
Yeah.
But all of it's needed at this point. I mean, at some point, everything has to evolve. And so I think that I know I was one of the pioneers to start helping policing evolve where Black communities are not policed so harshly.
Yeah.
And I think I know I helped through God's intervention to help officers realize, hey, that's not how you do that. You gotta create relationships to be able to do the kind of police work that you really want to do. The thing is, most officers want to suppress evil. Like, it doesn't matter the race, but evil things is the things that we're really going after. If departments gave officers the options to be a part of a task force that focused on, I'm just using this as an example.
Yeah.
If they could be a part of a task force that focused on human trafficking and child exploitation, where you can just go after those people, man, most officers across the country would be biting at the bit to do that. And those are the things that I pointed out. Like, I don't even understand why Texas hasn't legalized marijuana.
Yeah, they pulled back on it now.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder why. I heard a politician saying that it might hurt liquor sales.
Wow.
And that's a good point.
I know you've been in so long that you've become a trainer now, so you're not actually out there on the beat.
No, I am on the beat. I'm on the street.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta be in the street as a trainer.
How does that work mentally when a law passes that was legal, let's say 5 days ago, but because, of course, once they put the law in effect, you have to actually pull someone over who you would at first just, hey, man, you got it, man. You got a grandma, you're good. Now it's like, you got some gummies on you. I got to take you in.
This new generation, even the new generation of officers, I noticed that they're not afraid to express how they feel about things. They don't. I'm not saying they don't care about the law and they're not going to do their job. And I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble, but I think that even my upper echelon, the brass for the Dallas Police Department, would understand what I'm about to say. Most of us are not going to be bothered with that still. It don't matter that they didn't legalize marijuana. Most of us are not going to be like, oh, he got a bag of weed. We're going to be like, man, and we're not about to mess with that. We're not about to make work for ourselves. You know what I mean? It's just something that is just one of those things.
Do you feel like that's more just Dallas police culture? Because what I always learned, even just living in Dallas, was Dallas police are more, y'all have so much higher stuff to deal with.
Yep.
That those small things you don't worry about. But when you go out to a Frisco police or McKinney, go out further, they do have time to deal with those small things.
It definitely is a Dallas police culture thing where most of us don't bother with that little stuff. We call it chicken shit. We don't mess with that.
Yeah.
We don't got time for it. And plus, we don't, like I said, we don't want to make work for ourselves.
The paperwork is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be amazed like how many violent situations come out where we're all trying to get there and take care of that. That's a priority 1. You got priority 7 all the way up to 1. You know what I mean? So we get situations where people are actually killing each other. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, we get these, like I know you heard about the dude that got his head cut off.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like, we get that stuff.
To get that through the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. We get those calls. So we don't got time to be dealing with somebody with some weed. People drunk are way worse than people high on weed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without question.
That's for real. Like, even doctors say that.
Yeah, I felt bad for Tony Romo's situation in regards to, I understand it wasn't drinking, but, you're under the influence.
I don't know what it was. I mean,
y'all don't know what it was. I don't know what it was.
Paying attention to that,
But yeah, so, to go back to it, in regards to, of course, when the laws change and you have to, of course, enforce the law.
Yeah.
These body cams now, do they expect you to enforce new laws and new rules?
Well, if it's a felony or if it's a county warrant or something like that, we got to enforce it.
Okay.
But we have discretion on a lot of misdemeanors. Okay. You know what I mean? And I do believe that weed is still a misdemeanor, even though it's not legalized. I don't know all the ins and outs as far as with the because this is another thing that people don't know about. The DA's office in Dallas might not take a lot of things that, like you said, that Frisco will take. Yeah. Like, a girl might say, Jonathan, rape me. Just because she pissed off at you. You know what I mean? You might not have touched her. Right. But she's pissed off at you about something and she makes up something that the DA's office here in Dallas was gonna be like, we ain't gonna take that. Even though they know that she was lying, they're not going to take falsifying a police report.
Yeah.
They don't have time for it. They're not going to take it. I'm telling you right now, they're not going to take it because I've had it happen to me. You know what I mean? Like girls stalking you and stuff like that, and they get mad and make up stuff, and I'm like, why won't y'all take that? And it's like, we got bigger fish to fry. Frisco, probably gonna take it. I don't know. Plano, probably gonna take it.
They got time.
Those smaller departments probably gonna take it. But you got to think about it, man. Our officers that have been on the department for about 6 to 8 years, and some of the areas in Dallas got more experience than a 20-something year vet in Frisco, because they ain't having the same problems that we having. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you, do you remember, if you could go back that far, do you remember your first arrest, your first time you had to put cuffs on somebody?
Nope.
That goes back. That goes back.
Yeah, that goes way back.
I always thought like there's nerves. Or do you remember your biggest arrest? Let me say that.
Yes.
Okay. Can you walk us through what that was?
I was actually in West Dallas, and I was on a task force where we were focusing on getting like major drugs off the street, not marijuana. Like I'm talking about the heavy stuff, like heroin, cocaine, stuff like that. And I was on this task force, and this kid, he was on a bike, and I was like, this dude got on Jordans. He crispy, like he clean, and on a bicycle. I'm like, something ain't right about this.
What neighborhood was this? If you want me
it was in West Dallas.
Okay,
but it was over there by kind of close to Trinity Groves.
Okay,
and this was years ago. So I get behind him on the bike, and I'm debating whether I'm gonna talk to him or not. And I was like, well, he don't got a helmet on. And I go ahead and hit the lights on him. He jump off the bike. And when he jumped off the bike, he adjusting himself in the front. And I'm like, shoot, he about to draw down on me. You know what I'm saying? Like he messing with the front. And I'm thinking he about to turn around with a gun. So I'm like, hey man, I draw down on him. And I'm like, let me see your hands. And he does like this. And then he said, man, what you stopping me for? I said, you don't got a helmet on. I know it's chicken shit, but man, something ain't right with you. And so I started searching him. Man, this dude had a vial of wet in his pocket about that big. And I was like, come on.
Damn.
Come on, bro. This ain't even, you taking this somewhere. And so to make a long story short, off that, he had a vial of wet. He did have a Glock that he was adjusting in his drawers. I got that. He had a cookie, a crack about that thick.
Oh.
And he had some other stuff I can't remember, like some pills and stuff like that. But that wasn't the big bust, but what it led to a big bust. And I ain't gonna talk about that. Because I looked out for him. I was like, you 18 years old, boy. If it would have been like I said, like marijuana or something, But this right here is gonna ruin. You about to just tear this whole community up. You know what I mean? So I gotta do something with you, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay. Yeah.
Well, as this is Prison Stories 101, that's the reason we're talking about it, because it do be young kids out there that they're just involved in a lot.
Yeah.
I guess the first thing I want to ask you is, whenever you make an arrest, whether misdemeanor, felony, do you normally show up to the court hearing? Is it required you do it? I know sometimes they hope that the officer doesn't show up.
Now we get in trouble if we don't show up.
Oh, okay, yeah. So normally, how does that work? What is that experience as far as being able to say, is it just talking through the arrest and just saying, hey, this is what I found?
Yeah.
Is that all they're wanting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm not, some officers, especially with drug arrests, I'm okay. It's on the judge or the jury, whatever they want to do. In my heart of hearts, I wish that there can be some sort of program to help that kid take that business mindset and transfer it over to something else that's legal. I don't want them to go to jail, especially for drugs. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's just me. Now, if you running around being a menace, shooting at people recklessly and being one of them, killing people and all that, nah, you gotta go. You gotta go. Because how many times do we hear about some innocent person getting shot because somebody's just...
Yeah, I recently seen, I know you probably seen it, a guy at, I think it was at In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something like that, like...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I headshot him if I could. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna get down on him.
Yeah. And it's interesting because I have a lot of inmates here, and a lot of them were in for drugs. I'm talking about they've been in, football numbers, and they never understand like why does someone who has, I think we just had a young OnlyFans model, I forget her name, but it was a young Caucasian girl who killed a black guy, and I think he was African.
Yep, I remember that.
She got 6 years.
All she got.
That's all she got. She's already been in there 4 years, so she got 2 more, and she's gonna be free in 2 more years.
That's crazy.
And for manslaughter and someone on drugs, I mean, she stabbed the man literally.
Yeah.
And someone with a drug case is serving 20, 25 years, and it doesn't quite make sense because, like you said, the business, and it's funny because one other convict has said it, that if they would have just gave us like some kind of program to get into, to slap on the wrist, all right, get me to where I need to be because I'm just trying to make money for my child at home.
Yeah. And you got to think about the psychological aspect of it as well. And this is what's not talked about enough to me. Like if someone is making $5,000 a week selling or more, selling a substance, and then you tell them to go make $20 an hour, that's a hard transition.
It's a hard transition.
I don't care what race you are. And that's a hard transition.
Yeah.
So it's better not to even try that. That's like getting some you know what.
Yeah.
And then somebody telling you, you can't do that no more. Are you out your mind?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to do that.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there has to be something to that where like, yes, it is an illegal substance, but can you still take that business acumen and apply it over here to maybe sell some water? Maybe, I don't know, sell something, create a need. But that's for some different people.
I just think that we need to get back to creating opportunities for areas that are underprivileged. I'm talking about real opportunities, not where someone is making enough money to live paycheck to paycheck, where they're making enough money to be able to buy some nice things for themselves, take their family on vacations, save up to put a kid through college, stuff like that. The American dream. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to help them do those things. I'm not trying to justify breaking the law or anything like that, but I'm with them on, the long sentencing that they give people for selling dope and stuff like that. Now, the problem with selling dope, it creates such a chain reaction of bad stuff.
Yes.
And that might be the reason why they're doing it, because property crime increases because the people on the street that are wanting the drugs start stealing and whatever they need to do to be able to get money to get the drugs. And then like this fentanyl epidemic, we've had officers just open the bag and get just a whip of it and fall out.
I've seen that, yeah.
And eat Narcan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So some of that stuff is just...
Yeah, drugs that kill.
That's... You're dead. Dead is dead. You know what I mean?
Like you said, the cycle. I had a guy come through here, and he said his mom was, of course, introduced to crack. Mm-hmm. She started, he was like 7, 8, 9. She started prostituting herself, which of course is illegal. Yeah. He's fighting off tricks. Yep. Now she can't pay the bills because she's stealing. Yeah. So he had to get into the game to start at a very young age to start paying the bills to keep the lights on.
Exactly.
So now he's in the game. Yeah. And the cycle just doesn't stop. So I understand the need. So it is interesting because I'm curious from you've done 23 years on the other side. How much? First, before I ask you how much time, do you feel prison works as a construct?
Nope. Not in America. I mean, you have a few guys that mature enough once they go in and they're able to rehabilitate. I can't even get it out.
No, rehabilitate, yes.
Yeah, rehabilitate themselves enough, like Ali Sadiq, for example. I love that dude.
Shout out Ali Sadiq, yes.
I love that dude. I mean, I think we need even more people like him working with us as allies to help, because he understands it from the street side and he's understanding it from the political side, the government side, you know. So, but places like, is it the Netherlands? You probably know.
That has what?
A very good system as far as when people go into their prison system, it's like a college campus.
Yeah, I think it's the Netherlands. If not, it's somewhere over there.
I believe it's the Netherlands.
Yes.
And the Netherlands are doing so well with that they're closing prisons.
That's amazing.
Because they're really, I don't know why I can't say that today.
Rehabilitate, yeah.
Rehabilitation rate is so high that they're closing prisons. And it's like, I wonder why America is not going over there saying, what are you guys doing to make this work? And to me, it feels like you're not doing it because we still a cash cow.
Yeah. It's the prison is a business.
It's a business, but it's a business with, and the ones that you don't care about.
Yeah.
On your side, the ones the ones you're willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, those are,
Yeah, but.
Have you visited any prisons?
Yeah, I've been to prisons before.
The condition of a prison, just walking in and seeing one, like, do you have any thoughts on the conditions of the way
I think it's, the way a prison is set up, I think it's psychologically damaging.
Yeah.
You know, to be literally locked in a cage like dogs at the dog pound, and you sleeping on these hard beds, and you got to take a shit in front of everybody and piss and shower with everybody. And the things that some of the guys do to each other in prison, I mean, I'm like, how can you sit up here and criticize law enforcement when you guys are being put into this cage by the system, and then while you're in the cage, you're torturing each other. You know what I mean? Like, what the? I don't
know. I can't see nothing good comes from it. Now, mind you, I talked to a lot of men who say prison helped them.
Yeah.
Because they were going to be either in the grave if they didn't get sat down.
Yeah.
But I don't see the way that system's set up to, like, generate compassion.
Right.
Make someone, like, it's a hard place to make hard men.
Now, what is interesting though, we've had guys. And some of the old head police officers used to tell me this, and then I saw it with my own eyes. And this is not prison, this is like loose stereo.
Yeah.
We've had guys that on the street, they raising hell. I mean, like, dude, why can't you just act right? And you know, even when you arrest them, we got them in the back of the squad car, I'm like, damn, dude, why can't you just do right? Like, I was rooting for you. And when you get them to loose stereo and they there for a couple of weeks, you see them being a trustee. And I'm like, what? What's up? I mean, like, why can't you do that out in the world?
What do you think it is? Maybe somebody got to their head? They got sat down, their mama talked to them?
No, they tell you. They say, well, I got structure in here.
That's all they needed was structure.
All they needed was structure. You know? And I'm like, why can't you just make your own structure out? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I'm not a psychiatrist. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I see the psychological damage that has been created by this system. You know, I'm not trying to make excuses for nobody doing crime and all that kind of stuff. And I really do wish that we could do better as a society, and especially I got to clean my own house first. You know what I mean? And then you hear people, like, even with this interview, it's going to be people in the comments probably talking shit about me being a cop and all that. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Because the thing is, if we don't have law and order, the things that I see on a daily basis.
Yeah, imagine. What was that? What's that movie? The Purge.
The Purge.
Yeah, imagine The Purge every day.
Yeah, or even worse.
Or even worse.
Yeah, because you got to have something that makes people. I better not do that. I better control my emotions and not do that.
And that's why we do the prison stories, to make sure we tell stories of like, you don't want to be there. Now, do you believe in policing your own? Like, I think that's the reason why even we have a disconnect with police, because sometimes we get judged or we get harshly judged by someone that's not our own in our neighborhood. And it's like, you don't even know what I'm going through. Like, it's better to kind of talk to someone that might know where you're coming from.
And like I said, these new generation police are a whole lot more diverse. Their mindset is more diverse. They're doing better. And I know that people might not see it, but I see it. I see how the officers deal with people now versus when I first came on.
Right. Is it like it has the locker room talk changed? Because I mean, without saying stuff, but I'm sure back, you probably heard some things like, what?
Yeah.
And they were like, because of course they're going to try to, body count. You got to say the right things. But when you get back in front of the guys, I know different conversations are had. Has it gotten better in the locker room as far as?
It has.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the quality, for the most part, of diverse officers has really improved. Okay. But just like anything else, you're going to have sprinkles of bad officers. But you're going to have sprinkles of bad in whatever profession that you're in. Whatever it is, it's going to be, because even the Bible says the battle is not against flesh and blood, but the principalities of good and evil that roam the earth. So it's going to be good and evil out there. It is what it is. It's going to infiltrate.
Can't have one without the other.
Yeah. It's going to infiltrate everything that we do. You know what I mean? So a lot of people say, why don't y'all get rid of the bad police officers? Hell, we don't know the motherfucker bad until they do something bad.
Well, the one thing that people say, and I mean, we talked about in the other, interviews is, a yearly mental health check, like like not saying an interview, but the same we have to go renew a driver's license. Are you even still fit to be in this position?
Fit for duty?
Yeah, fit for duty. And that's all it is. Like, has something in your life changed to where these questions that you answered, that we know what you said, have you changed your outlook based on this new similar test? Well,
they're not doing like a yearly test to see if people are fit for duty, because budget, they just not going to do that because of budget. But if they start seeing something, like there was an officer fired not too long ago. I don't know what he did. He was on Dallas. He was with Dallas. And they said, this dude ain't fit for duty. Yeah. And he was on A time for a while, meaning he was, not able to use his badge and gun. Yeah. And I guess they tested him again. They were like, nope, and they fired him.
Oh, wow.
So they will do it.
Did you ever you ever heard or seen an officer who maybe arrested a young lady on Harry Hines and had a little, said, I'm going to just go all the way with you since,
What you mean? Like,
I'll let you free if you do me any favors.
I've never witnessed it. And that's something like that. If I saw that, I would be like, hell no, bro. Like, you gone. Like,
you'll see a video of that. I mean, I know it's happening in the world, but you're like, damn, what?
Yeah.
Abuse of power, my guy.
Nah, we not doing that. Like, yeah, but of course I've just like y'all heard about it happening.
Yeah.
But I ain't never seen it with my own I don't think anybody is. Normally when that happens, that person does that alone. You know what I mean? They do it by themselves. Hey, why don't you go on and, do X, Y, Z? And then you hear about it. You're like, dang, I know that nigga was a freak. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, wife must have been neglecting him. Something going on.
Gosh, dog.
Well, I'll say this, Dallas Fort Worth has, a character by the name of Charleston White.
I know Charleston White.
He speaks highly to police. He has the actual police crusted badge.
Yeah.
And he says that he does feel like prison time is needed for young black men. That it does, he served time in He
would know better than me. But from what I see, I think that, in my opinion, I think that there can be a better system where, where people that are in prison could get more resources. I think it could be done differently. Like I think that even the way the prisons are set up, it's set up like you said earlier, just to make money, to cram as many people as they can into it. It's almost like a slave ship or something. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to say that you need to commit crimes and then go somewhere like you're at a resort. But if it's not violent crimes or messing with children or something like that, why can't you set it up like a college campus to help them use those skills? They're obviously businessmen.
Obviously.
I mean, pharmaceutical sales, that stuff is legal, but it kills a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can abuse it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we had an opiate crisis. You know.
Yeah.
So it's like...
I think more so, even if they could use whatever skills or trade they have in prison, even if it's not like a camp, to at least get them set up to when they do get out, they have, money to be able to say, because I hear Texas TDC, you work for free. I hear you don't get paid.
It's slavery.
Yes. Some other states.
It actually says in the penal code, the only acceptable slavery, I'm not wording it right, is when you are put in a prison
system, basically voluntary slavery.
Yeah.
Voluntary servitude.
Yeah.
Because now you're a ward of the state. Yep. We do what you say. And the people who do get paid, I hear like, hey, they might make
$2 an hour.
$2 an hour. Something crazy where it's just enough to eat in there. But if they could actually make workable wages, because they're not spending it, save it, maybe still take care of their children.
Right.
Maybe still save, because I hear like, you could serve 20 years, get out to $100. Right. What are you supposed to do with that? Like what life can you live with $200?
That's what I'm saying. It's not right. And it could help society so much by helping those guys. I mean, they are learning trades in prison. They are learning trades. But if they could come up with a way to pay those guys more so that they could come out with some real money, it probably would. Well, I just answered my own question.
Well, no.
Because I was about to say.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
I was going to say, we have a problem in the Black community with recidivism.
Yeah.
Meaning someone does some time, 7, 8 years, get out, doesn't have money. And mind you, when you're in prison, you're going to learn more crime. You're going to learn what you did wrong. And, you're in there with nothing but criminals. Yeah. So, like you said, to go from making X amount of dollars to now you're expecting to make $20 an hour, most people try it for a couple of months to live right. And then someone out here in the free world who haven't been caught tries to bring them back in the game or do whatever. Yeah. And they're out trying to figure it out again. And recidivism happens to where they're back in your cuffs. You might see the same guy like, man, didn't I get you back 5 years ago? Like, I'm back to it. Yeah. What are your thoughts on recidivism as far as us in our community, and how do we clean it up to not do the same crimes when we get out?
Well, you're gonna have to. For one thing, we got to stop looking at prison and who am I? I'm just a street cop, but I think we should stop looking at prison as a cash cow for these guys that are making all this money off the prison systems. And they should allow the guys to make money, real money, while they're in prison, so that when they get out, they have a hand up to get reintroduced back into society a little bit more comfortably. You know what I mean? And because a lot of those guys, man, that have made up in their mind that they mature and they're not going back, I've noticed that they come out doing really well. I know a girl that came out doing really well. Yeah. Like, I'm talking about super well.
Yeah, no, a guy I just did yesterday, he did 18 years. Yeah. And right when he got out, he linked with a guy who was into cryptocurrency. Yeah. And he just put just a little bit in, and it turned out to be a $20,000 flip. Yeah. And he said that $20,000 put me on a path to where I'll never see prison again. I'm doing very well in life. Yeah. And he said, I didn't even need the 20. It could have been 10,000. Yeah. Just with 10,000 coming out of 18-year sentence. Yeah. That could change a whole lot of things, because you learn so much in there that you just need that one leg up. So if you could work up to that amount where you do that much time, you should at least have $10,000. Yeah. To come home to at least.
And then think about what makes the community unhealthy, like even physically unhealthy, it's the food. So you could teach them farming in prison. When they come out of prison, give them a grant to start a small farm in like Oak Cliff or Pleasant Grove. And that farm is food to table for that community. That's organic, that's quality food versus some of the stuff that we're being fed now. You know what I mean? I mean, we could do the whole gamut of what we need to survive, teaching those guys those skills in prison.
Yeah.
How to build a house, do the electricity, the drywall, the roofing, all that. Those guys come out and they have those businesses and they're doing them. But you're saying, how do we stop them from going in, and how do we stop them?
How do we stop them?
How do we stop them from going in and going back?
Yeah.
Going in and going back.
Right.
So if we help them be able to be those mentors to come out to teach somebody how to make real money, you teaching them how to make the basics to maybe make a 6-figure income, where they bringing in some and also they're learning some survival skills and some things that's going to make their quality of life positive versus negative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I believe that would help a percentage not go back. Because that'd be men teaching younger men how to do these things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And these are skills that we don't have. You mentioned earlier, as far as, once you make an arrest, you don't think about them afterwards. Do you feel people that do go to prison are forgotten? Like, let's say a person has no mom, no dad, adopted kid, no brother, sister.
Yep.
He's out, he commits a crime. You catch him, he's riding a bike with some clean shoes or something, and it was just a bad day. He got caught.
Yeah.
He goes to prison, and again, he's an adopted kid. He has no one.
Yeah.
Do you feel like prison is a place where people are forgotten? And what can we do better in that sense? Because even what you're saying right now could help at least to say, yes, if you have 20-year sentence, there's light at the end of the tunnel. You're 18 years old. Mm-hmm. You'll get out, let's say halftime, or if you get out 38. You have some money. Yeah. You have a skill.
That would help. Yeah, I didn't even think about that till now, but that's not rocket science. I think that the judge needs to take that into consideration. This person has no family. The family that they had influenced them to do the crime that they did. And when they go to prison, what are they going to have when they get out? So more than likely, they're going to have to do crime to try to just survive.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what are we going to do to make sure that doesn't happen? We got to do something.
And it's crazy.
It would be good if we did anyway.
For someone wrongly convicted, the amount of money they be getting, I'm like, if y'all spread this around to some other inmates.
No, they deserve that money.
No, I'm saying, no, without question. But when I hear those numbers 18 million, I'm like, mind you, they deserve it.
Yeah,
but if you had that sitting there, that means, that lets you know they make a lot of money in prisons.
Oh, yeah.
If you have that sitting there, and this is, again, I look at crimes differently. There's some crimes that, we can't help you. We're not here to. Yeah. We're not even here to rehabilitate you. We're here to just strictly to punish you.
Yep.
When you have a life sentence or a death penalty sentence, this is strictly. There's no rehabilitation we're looking for.
Yeah.
Strictly to punish. But if you have a time to get out, an out date, that is considered rehabilitation then. Yeah. And therefore, we shouldn't come home to where I'm worse off than what I went in, and y'all leave me to just fend for myself out here. Because can inmates become law enforcement officers, deputized or anything? No. Can they do anything to help police besides janitorial work? Yeah,
they can become. What do they call them? They call them. It's a mentor. I can't think of. Man, I wish I had.
But it's like a mentor job.
Yeah, it's like a mentor. They're called. They're very valuable too to help reduce crime in high crime areas. But they're like mentors. So, like your boy, Charleston White, I think he's one.
Yeah,
I think he is one.
Yeah, he was on that for a minute.
Where he goes into communities and he does it his way.
I was saying, is this a paid thing that police departments could incorporate, or is it just?
I think they get paid. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And in some cases, man, I'm not exactly sure because I wonder if they can run for office. You know, I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What I do know is that it is hard to get a regular job after you have anything above, anything a felony above and do prison time. Yeah. Just to ask you, have you been arrested or have you been in prison? Yeah. You almost have to become an entrepreneur. It's from what I get from a lot of guys who come sit down.
Even if you haven't been arrested, if you're not going into something where like in my case, it was a calling. Like it really was. So if you're not going into it, something like that, it's almost better too, even if you're not in prison, to try to find something where you got your own thing going.
Oh yeah,
being an entrepreneur.
Without question.
Yeah.
And mind you, it's especially people that go to federal prison.
Yeah.
You learn a lot. Again, I talk to a lot of guys. They learn a lot. Yeah. So it's just, do they have a chance when they get out? That's normally the question. Well,
I thought about you the other day. Actually, it's funny that because I work off duty at Velvet Taco, and this guy came in, and he was like, "Man, you're an older, good-looking guy, man. No homo, this and that. But I want to talk to you about some stuff because I kind of need some advice." And he turns out to be Nigerian.
Yeah.
So he was saying that he sees opportunity totally different than most Black people in America. And it made my ears perk up when he said that. And he was like, "Man, I'm doing extremely well." He said, "I went to school, got my civil engineer degree, got my own construction company. I'm not, he said, I'm making really good money, but it could be better." And he was like, "But I bid for jobs, and simply because I'm Black, I get the job." He said,
"Really?"
Yeah.
Did you get his name? I always tell people, if you're African, if you have an African last name, I would say foreigners are treated different than like.
But he didn't sound. I had no idea.
No, I'm saying,
yeah.
Somebody named Malcolm Jenkins, or Jamal Bryant, versus Christopher Bontinde or something on an application.
Yeah.
Again, foreigners they just feel like, I don't know what it is about America. They just feel like, well, this is you're a foreigner, we're going to give you opportunity because you probably know what working hard means, versus somebody who is, slavery was their ancestors.
Well, I know some guys that they figured this. I'm not going to say they figured the system out, but they accepted, and these guys are pro-Black. Like they're good guys. That there is a system, and instead of fighting against the system, figure the system out and use it to your advantage.
Yes.
And they're doing very well with real estate. One of them was one of my closest friends.
Yeah.
And he just got like a $10 million line of credit.
Oh, man, that's a $10 million line of credit.
And I make more money than him, but he knew how to work the system. Yeah, I did, but now he's and I'm happy for him. He's blowing up.
Yeah, what it is especially when it comes to Africans or Nigerians, or just anyone from any, like, let's say third world country, is what that is. You've seen that. And America is the land of, dreams and opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be able to come over here and you look at people who take it for granted. You're like, what? Yeah. Why? This is free education? All you got to do is work hard, and they know what hard work is, because honestly, in America, we don't know what hard work is. My mom, she would send me to the store with food stamps saying, go buy this. So as a young Black man, you would know, like, okay, so the government pays for your food?
Yeah.
Just because you don't got a man in your life? That's sensible. Somebody like, I could maybe get taken care of. So we do look for handouts. We do look for handouts.
But the thing is, and I guess it was how my parents raised me or something. It was, I got
Nigeria's parents will force you to, engineer, doctor.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Because I was on food stamps and I had government assistance when I was in college because I had custody of my son. So, but I remember when I was able to tell them, I was so excited to be able to go tell them, I don't need this no more. I'm done.
Man.
Thank you.
The fact that you're able to say that.
Yeah.
Most people will be like, I need more.
I was excited to be able to tell them that I don't need it no more.
Dang.
And I'll be glad.
So that means, were you ashamed to have it?
I wasn't ashamed to have it. Shit, I had custody of a young child, and I was playing football and trying to get good through college.
Okay.
Nah, I needed that.
But happy to get off it.
But I was happy to get off of it. I appreciated it.
Yeah.
But I think that we need to realize as a country that everybody didn't get through that psychological, the echoes of slavery still exist today.
Yeah.
And everyone needs to realize that. Everyone, every race, everyone.
Segregation was 60 years ago.
It wasn't even that long ago.
Yeah.
But even when I hear black people be so heavily critical of police, you do not want to be that critical of police. You might want to focus on the ones that are doing bad. Focus on that one. Don't focus on all police, because trust me, you want that law and order in place. Because if it wasn't, people always think it's property crime or violent crime. You could be walking down the street with your girl and the bigger, stronger guy says, "Oh no, I want her. You too weak. You can't have her." And he come and take her.
Right.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? Survival of the fittest.
You pull your gun, he pull his gun.
What you gonna do? Now it's whoever's quicker.
Yeah.
You don't want that world.
Who wants to be living like that? And everybody's getting older.
Yeah.
I can't bench 415 a day. You know what I mean?
So what are your thoughts on the gun laws? Because they've gotten very lax in Texas, and you're in Dallas for work. You're in Dallas Police Department. You're like, everyone is probably carrying when you walk anywhere.
At this point, this is the way I look at it. There's so many guns on the streets. It's more guns on the street than there are people in America. That's facts. So because of that, I like the lax gun laws. It helps me as a police officer. If you have your gun on you and you come up to Velvet Taco to see me working off duty, and I'm sitting there with my back turned, and you see some guy coming up behind me about to bust me in the back of the head, and you go, pow, I'm coming to hug you. You know what I mean?
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? And think about what just happened in and out.
Yeah. You see, off-duty officer plus the...
Yeah, if they wouldn't have been there, that guy would have killed a whole lot more people.
A whole lot more. He was ready to.
Now, the technology that we have is getting a whole lot more advanced. That's another reason why...
Yeah, I've seen lighters flip out. I've seen a water gun that looked like a super soaker be a real pistol. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Shit.
But what I'm saying is, people doing crime, period, like, especially our people, man, we got to get away from that mindset. I'm not saying be no punk or nothing like that, but we need to get away from that mindset of being gangster or whatever you want to call it, because the technology that, man, we got.
Yeah.
Big Brother is watching.
Yeah, I'm about to say, without going into details, how much has technology gotten better to catch criminals in activities?
It's grown by leaps and bounds. Remember I told you I caught those guys that stole my truck?
Yeah. When you told me that, I'm like, oh, hell. I mean,
and I was just chilling at home, and they go, oh, we see where your truck is. I'm wearing my truck. And I went and got it and got them.
And CCTV, it's interesting because I know we have a Mo3 trial coming up. And everyone, I'm sure you've seen it, that video of the truck driver's screen showing that. But I'm like, and I know the trial's going to show a lot, but I'm like, there's so much CCTV. There's probably so much more video footage from on the highway, off the highway, before, after that. It's like, it's hard to get away with a crime.
Remember, no, that wasn't one of our interviews, but I had posted one time, all these people, it was doing the George Floyd riots, and everybody thought they was getting away with stuff. I'm like, just because you covering your face don't mean nothing. They got ways. And then when you, like, some of the stuff, we as city police, it's advanced for us, but then stuff that when it starts getting up higher with federal agencies, and then you see what they're capable of doing, you're like, oh man, you know what I mean? It even makes us a little nervous.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
To serve and protect, what does that actually mean? Like, what does it mean to you?
To me, it means like I'm when I'm in uniform. Because I grew up fighting, not just fighting everybody, but I grew up competing, fighting. I grew up fighting on the street if I had to and stuff like that. So it doesn't give me, a right to go out and bully people or anything like that. And I noticed that a lot of people think that about police officers, and it's probably justifiably so because of how the culture used to be. Yeah. It's not like that anymore. But to me, it means like you're literally serving the community within reason. You know what I mean? Like if someone is needing assistance with something, or they're needing protection, or they're needing a resource, whatever the case may be, you're trying to help them find those things. And then to protect it is exactly what it means, to protect. My sergeant saved the lady's life the other day. And he drove up and the guy he stabbed her twice. His wife stabbed her twice in the stomach when my sergeant was pulling up. And sergeant didn't have enough time to really take good aim, but he, pow, dude ran off. He didn't hit him, but the dude ended up turning himself in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So most officers dream of that moment where they can be the hero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think most guys do. If you're a real man, you
want to do that.
You want to be a hero. You want to be the hero for your family, for your woman, whatever. Everyone wants to be the hero.
But like you said, law and order is needed.
Yeah.
In a civilization without law and order,
it's gonna.
Like you said, you've seen the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Bankston, normally we do these prison stories. Again, we don't glorify prison. We try not to, send people to that way. We always want to keep people out, and that's why we have these conversations. So if you don't mind, as far as there's probably some young kid out there taking penitentiary chances, if you can just speak to them, based on from your experience of, why they don't need to commit crimes, why they don't need to be on that side of the law and just stay righteous.
The likelihood of you being successful with crime is like making it to the NBA. It literally is. And any great hustler will tell you that. The likelihood of you making it to a tier of crime where you're able to take the money that you've made and invest that money into a legit business where the money is working for itself and coming back to you and you're no longer having to do crime is very slim. Now you can take that same energy and do something legit and don't have to worry about street culture getting you or worry about us getting you. And it might be a little uncomfortable, but isn't selling dope uncomfortable?
Looking over your shoulder.
Looking over your shoulder every day, it's all uncomfortable. So you got to choose your hard. What hard are you going to choose? That's the bottom line.
That's bars.
Yeah. So that's how I look at it. I mean, it's like, there's officers, we get duffel bags of cash all the time. And you can choose to take that and then get caught. And you just threw away your whole career over, $70,000 or something? No, I'm not doing that at all. I'm not going to take a dime. You know what I mean? I didn't work too hard to get to this point.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. We just need to see a longer end game versus look past next week or next month.
Yeah, and also look forward to who you're going to be. You're not going to be the same person, even you right now, Jonathan, you're not going to be the same person you are today 20 years later down the line. You're going to look back and be like, man, I used to look at this totally different. Like with me, I used to think that I wanted to be in the concrete jungle, wanted to go to New York and just, be living in a big ass condo in New York, go out, go shopping, being, nice cars and all that kind of stuff.
Man of the city.
Yeah. But now I want like 300 acres somewhere in the woods somewhere.
You found your peace.
Yes. I don't want to be around people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's my who I am today is totally different from where I was when I was younger.
Man.
And men, we develop so damn slow. Like women develop a lot quicker than we do. That's why older men and younger women work probably because how slow we develop. We see things totally different when we get older.
No, without question. Well, with that being said, I have to say it, again, Officer Bankston, I appreciate you coming through. If you have any social media handles, I would like to see if you'd like to give them out if you're still on social media.
Yeah.
Please go ahead and let them know how to follow you on whatever platforms you're on.
Bankston Hughes is my last name, Bankston, Hues on Instagram. And Larry Bankston Jr. on Facebook. But Facebook, man, I'm already at 5,000, whatever.
Yeah, you maxing out. You maxing out.
Yeah, so I don't know. But I'm working on doing my own thing, and you're going to help me.
Yes. Yeah. I'm glad that, people get to watch this right here because, again, they're going to most likely take to your character. Again, the wealth of education you have just being in law enforcement, especially being a man of color, we need to know more of it. So, and just know that it's changing, y'all. I mean, like, there's a lot of diverse police officers out there, and we're focusing on real evil, and we ain't trying to mess with the average person or anything like that. And, officer pulls you over, just, be peaceful, and it'll work out. There you go.
Yeah.
With that being said, Officer Larry Bankston, I appreciate you coming through. Once again, this is Prison Stories 101, and I salute you, man.